What's up, guys? How's it going? It is Matt here. So we are back on track doing videos here, and we are going to kick it off with a Glock video. So let's get into it. First things first, guys, I want to thank everyone that's been giving me prayers. So it's been a while since I did a video, almost a month now. And that's mainly because of the medical issues I was having with my inner ear thing. But I am back on track here, and I really wanted to kick off with a video about Glock here. Now, before I get into it, I don't want people like flipping out and stuff like that. This is not a Glock hate video. This is nothing like that. It's not a fanboy video. It's not anything versus video. I just want to talk a little bit about Glock and my thoughts on it in general and my thoughts on it. Now, gun has a lot of great things. It's a great gun, all around gun, but there's a couple reasons why I don't usually carry it for my primary carry. Now, if you follow me for a long time, you know some of these, but if not, welcome to the channel, and here we are. Now, as a firearms instructor, I teach a basic pistol class, and I mix intermediate shooting into that class. In my state, in order to carry a firearm, you need to take a basic pistol class, and that's what my certification is, so I teach that class. But I also understand that most people that come to my class will probably won't go on to take any more advanced shooting classes or intermediate level shooting classes. So I try to put a little bit of actual marksmanship and a little bit of intermediate shooting with the basic pistol stuff, just so people kind of get an overall type of thing. Now, my pistol of choice that I use for the class for my students to shoot, I usually have them qualify on too, is right here, my Glock 19. All right, so this is a really good gun. All right, it's a mid-sized gun. It fits almost everyone's hands, not quite. There's a lot of people's hands it doesn't fit. It fits almost everybody's hands. It's very simple. There's no controls other than the slide stop here and the trigger safety, the blade safety, bladed trigger safety. Brain fart there. There's no crazy controls. So you don't need to teach your students a ton of stuff, just how to operate it. All you need to do as an instructor is teach them about firearm safety, teach them about sight picture, sight alignment, trigger control, and you do that and they follow that and they can hit the target very well with this, between 10 to 15 feet, up to 20 feet. I've done it with that, actually up to 20 yards I've done my students, and they can shoot it pretty good. All right, it's a decent gun. Now, there's a lot of people out there that will fight tooth and nail, telling you that the only Glock or only gun that you should ever carry is a Glock, and that is the best gun in the world, and any other gun other than a Glock is ridiculous. You don't need anything else because all you need is a Glock. And that's not the case. That's why there's a lot of different types of guns. There's a lot of different models of guns. There's smaller guns, bigger guns, longer guns, full-size guns. You guys catch the drift. There's a lot of different guns out there. Now, a Glock is a great instructional gun. That's what I like to call it. It's a very good instructional gun. Now, it's great for like law enforcement, police, and stuff like that. When you have a lot of people coming in and out of academy, you don't have to go hardcore into teaching about this and the decocker and all this other stuff, and this is how the safety work. All you need to teach is firearm safety, marksmanship, and trigger control. You teach that and some tactics, and they are good to go. And that's what makes this a very easy gun. These are very low maintenance, they're easy to shoot, and that makes them a very reliable gun. Now, just to throw a quick little disclaimer out there, there's a difference between reliability and laziness. All right, there's a difference between reliability and maintenance. Yes, this is a very reliable gun. You put a lot of rounds through it, and it'll work very well, and it shoots very well. However, you can't just put thousands of rounds in it, lock it up for a year, and then take it out again. Part of reliability is taking care of your firearm and performing weapons maintenance and basic maintenance and preventative maintenance. If you don't do that, then you no longer have a reliable gun. That carbon, it hardens up. It actually I've seen it block out the triggers with the people they're shooting, block out the trigger. Lint gets stuck in there because they carry it all the time. When I worked at a gun shop, people would come in and there was carbon head to toe when you're trying to simply change out the sights. And then you ask them about, well, when's the last time you cleaned this? And they say, oh, I've had it for 6 months to a year and I've never cleaned it before because it's such a reliable gun. I don't need to clean it. That's being lazy. All right. Reliability means you have to take care of it. You have to make it reliable so it works. You can't just drive a car all day long without changing out, years on end without changing out the oil. right? You have to change that stuff out. So reliability and laziness are not in the same category. This is a very reliable gun in general, but if you want it to be more reliable and actually reliable and work functionally every single time you pull the holster, regardless of how many rounds you put through it, you have to maintain it on a daily basis. But anyway, I'm not going to go on a whole rant on this. Now for me, this is not my chosen gun for carry. All right, this is not my chosen gun to carry. I carry it every now and then, but it's just not a big thing for me. There's a couple things I have to do. I'm a big dude. I'm 6'1". All right. Now I had to put this right here. All right. This is called a grip force adapter on it because of the size of my hands. When I good solid high grip like that, I actually have a scar on my thumb where it cuts the heck out of my hand. Where it's on there. So I put the grip force adapters on there so it will not do that. So that's one thing I had to do to it. Another problem that I've had with it is there's a lot of students that'll pick it up and they just can't fit their hand around it. They just can't. They have smaller hands. Not everyone's built the same. Or they get their hand on it and they have smaller fingers and they can barely get the finger on the trigger. Or they have bigger hands and they can barely get on it. So I recommend a full-size Glock compared to that. Even then, with the grip, it just doesn't feel right in their hand. Now, for me, this is a good shooting gun, a very good gun. My preferred carry gun, however, is my SIG. This is my M11A1. Basically, it's a 228. So this is it's like a 229. The M11A1 is slide, but it's based off of a 228. Now for me, this gun fits my hand a lot better, and I like the fact that it has a double action trigger. So when you pull it out, you have that safety factor where it takes 11 to 12 pounds to pull that. So if you have to stage the trigger when you're pulling it, you won't accidentally fire off the firearm in a bad situation and accidentally shoot someone when you don't need to shoot something. So I prefer that, and I also like it for the safety factor. When you're putting it in and out of your holster, you can put your thumb down here on the hammer and will prevent that trigger from moving. So for me, that's my preferred carry gun, which for when I'm using my 9 is the SIG Sauer, and that's just because it fits my hand very well. Now that doesn't mean the Glock is a bad gun. It just means that this gun fits me better than a Glock fits me. Now, the other gun that I prefer to carry, a lot of you know this, is my 1911. All right, I love my 1911s. 1911s are great guns. All right, and if you know how to take care of them, you know how to clean them, maintain them, and shoot them and handle them properly, they will work very well for you. They will function. They will last for your entire life. I absolutely love 1911s. The problem that I have is when I talk about a 1911, people say that this is a horrible system because it's not a Glock, and you're an idiot if you have anything other than a Glock. And it doesn't quite make sense to me or anyone that's been shooting for a long period of time, because you know just about every gun system is very usable if you know how to use it and you know how to maintain it. Now, yes, you have to maintain this just a little bit more. You have to oil it a little bit more, but some people like me like that. We like getting in there. It's like the Harley guys, right? We got Harley guys, they love tuning up their bikes, right? We like getting in there doing that mindless work of maintaining it and stuff like that. But at the same time, I shoot this better than I shoot all these guns that I'm holding right here. My SIG, my Glock. I shoot this gun better than I shoot anyone else because the trigger on these, yeah, this has been cleared. The trigger on it is just amazing. All right, I love 1911 triggers. The size of it, the balance. This fits my hand better than any other gun that I have. Now, there's a lot of people out there where they'll tell you that if you choose something like this, you can't carry it. It's too big. It's not concealable and stuff like that. And you need to choose a Glock. So I want to cover that real quick. Like I said, yes, a Glock, especially mid-size Glock, is good for everything. I mean, you can carry it for duty, carry it off duty if you're an officer, you could carry it concealed, you can carry it open. But it's also a double-stack fatter pistol. All right, this is a double-stack fatter pistol. Yes, it is lighter. Now, I want to show you something real quick. So, this right here, people say you conceal this better than you conceal something like this. So I'm going to show you something real quick. We're going to hold these side by side. Now tell me, which one is thinner, okay? Which one is thinner? All around. Which one has a smaller profile? When it comes to concealability, it's about the thinness of it. That's what allows you to conceal it. The grip helps a little bit too, but if you have a gun like this in a good holster that has a slight cant onto it, that is completely gone. They even make these that have smaller grips. They have commander size, they have smaller sizes like this. So this is a very concealable gun. I don't need to only carry this because this is the only reliable gun that you can use to carry and conceal, because you can't conceal anything else. I actually conceal a 1911 better than I conceal this just because of the bulk of this. Now, like I said, this isn't a knock on Glock. This isn't a knock on Glock at all. This is just my preferences when it comes out there. Glock is a great gun and people use it all over the place. Law enforcement use it. you name it. There's all kinds of people that use the Glock, but that doesn't mean that this is the best gun for everyone. All right, it doesn't mean this is the best gun for everyone. Now, as an instructor, I highly recommend you have one of these. They're really easy to teach people to shoot, or an M&P or some sort of striker fire gun that doesn't have many controls. Teaching a student this, having something like this, makes it a lot easier, and they retain a lot more knowledge when they don't have to worry about all the other stuff. Now, but just because this is the only gun you've ever shot in the world doesn't necessarily make you an expert in when it comes to marksmanship. Now, I'm not saying that to knock anyone, but I've had a lot of people in the comments that say, that they claim that they're the best shooters because they have the Glock and it's the best gun and it's more reliable than any other gun and it shoots better than any other gun. That's just not the case. Maybe it shoots very well for you, but now once you switch over to a double action trigger, go try to switch over a double action trigger, see how your marksmanship is, see if your marksmanship has changed. Like I said, this is a very simple, not very complex gun that works, that's easy to maintain, and you don't always have to clean it, although I recommend you clean every single firearm, whatever the model, make and model is. You always clean it, all right, after you shoot it, because that's what gives you reliability, is the preventative maintenance that you put into it. It's a good system. It still needs that preventative maintenance to make it more reliable. So yes, this is a great gun to carry, and it's good for a lot of things. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the best gun out there. All right, that doesn't mean it's the best gun out there. If you go to a class or something like that and your instructor tells you you need to get a Glock, and that's the only gun that you need to get is a Glock because don't choose anything else, it's the best gun, most reliable. I want to recommend you guys go out to a place where you can rent the guns. All right, rent the guns, take a Glock out, absolutely take a Glock out, take a couple of the guns out, M&Ps, HK, VP9s, whatever, take some double action guns out, 1911, take all the various guns out and try them out, all right, because every gun is good, all right, every gun is as skilled as the person that shoots it, all right, that gun doesn't make it a better, you make you a marksman. What makes you a marksman is your training and how you can handle the gun, or how the gun fits for you. All right. Now, price-wise, these are a great gun too. They're usually $500, give or take. They're very customizable. They're great guns to take home, to train with, to practice with, to, make all fancy and stuff like that. They're great guns for that. I'm like, but that doesn't necessarily mean that this is the best gun in the world for everyone. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about me, and remember, guys, it's our responsibility to take care of each other and protect each other. Peace.